Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is Jesse here, and I am back for kind of a, channel update sort of a video, just talk about a few random topics here. Thought about doing one of these in January with everything that kind of had gone on in the start of 2021, because boy, it started out with stuff, I guess you could say. So, I never got around to it though. Like I tried to do a video and I didn't like the way it came out, and so I'm like, let's just sit on this for a while, see if anything else cool happens or anything like that. And here we are, early February. Can't believe it's already early February 2021. Ugh, after the train wreck that was 2020 in so many ways. Good riddance. Um, Got to admit, 2021 didn't seem like it was starting off particularly well either, but things have kind of seemed to settle down a little bit. So I think before we go into the channel and all that kind of stuff, do things a little bit different. Before we do the regular channel stuff, I do just kind of want to mention a little bit about the events of last month. Of course, I'm referring to both the January 6th stuff and the inauguration day. So I remember on January 6th, I was working from home. I had a meeting that morning, and I had checked Twitter when I got up. Usually, I'll roll out of bed. I'll, get ready for work. I'll check my email, clear that out, check out my social media, check out my Twitter, that kind of a thing. And nothing too bad. And we all knew that there was going to be some protests with Trump doing his whole rigmarole that day. Because we had heard stuff about, around the Capitol, even here in Minnesota, like, oh, there's probably going to be protests. And of course there would be in D.C. and whatever. But coming out of that meeting, I had checked my notifications on my phone for some other Twitter notifications that I had, and I just kind of started quickly scrolling through, and I saw all this stuff happening. I'm like, wait, what is going on? Wait, what? What is going on here? And so I had to check a little bit more on Twitter, went to some news sites, checked out a couple of video clips and some news, and I'm like going, oh my God, is that what has this world, what has our nation come to? I mean, it's just the fact that crap can happen. And that's partly why I didn't do the video earlier. I was like, I don't even know what to say about this. I don't want to say something I'll regret later, but this the whole fact that things went as far as they did with the whole insurrection, people is essentially invading the Capitol building, breaking things, shooting people. There were like 6 dead. It's just disgusting. I mean, we look like we ended up kind of looking like a fool, looking like a joke. And, I know a lot of other places outside of North America or around the world kind of don't really have a great opinion of the United States as it is. And that definitely is not going to help us. Thankfully, things did seem to calm down a little bit, and moving into the inauguration day, I do like that he is talking. That of course Biden's talking more about unity and getting through things and everything. And yes, I do agree that unity is absolutely, we have to be able to tackle things. And if we're going to do that, we got to do it together. We got to, just stop being so divided, stop being all that. But at the same time, I'm totally all about unity. But at the same time, I think, the people that were involved in this insurrection and everything, I mean, not just the people that were doing it, but, you just by some of the situational things that they're still investigating, there had to be some insider crap going on. There were people giving tours, and there were people, there were congressmen and women that were on that particular side, and, who knows what stuff they did to help enable everything. And then, of course, our former leader, as it was. I mean, it's not just that day. It was just the fact that you're riling people up, riling them up, and just saying all these things, and then it just came to that point of, oh, we're gonna make people so nuts that they're just gonna storm the Capitol and everything. It's just no, everything. I mean, yes, in the long run, unity, absolutely, but the people that did this should really be. They need to face the consequences. I don't care if you're a congressman or woman or former president or people, you know, doing the breaking in or whatever. No, you should be out of office. You should be, you should face the, consequences, criminal or otherwise, that because of what you did. And that's really all I'm gonna say. But since then, like I said, it was cool that things calmed down a little bit. I was a little concerned to see what was going to happen on Inauguration Day. I mean, was everyone gonna try to make some weird or make some attack on the new president, or it's just at this point, who knows? You can't even predict. You don't know. But I did, even work. They encouraged us to watch and just to see what the transition would actually end up being like. So I did watch the around the time of the inauguration, a little bit before, a little bit after, when they had the stuff at the inauguration there. And it was nice to hear some of the speeches and everything, and just having a president who can form a coherent sentence and not just talk about himself and just all the weird, whatever. It's just, and I got to admit, it's also been really nice not to wake up every morning and go, what's blowing up in the world today? What catastrophe has been created now, as people call it on social media, doom scrolling. Just, oh yeah, let's go through our feed and just see what kind of crazy shit has happened now. And yeah, there's still problems going on. I mean, is Biden going to fix everything? No, of course not. Do I think he's going to fix everything? No. I don't really trust most politicians, any politician for that matter. Like I said, they're all a little squirrely. They're all a little nuts. But it's like I said, it's just you take what you can get, and it's just nice to not have to worry as much about some things, and hopefully we'll get this COVID stuff more under control. I know the vaccine has started rolling out. I know there's been people in my state that have kind of started getting it. I've seen people on social media that have started to get it. There's been some fiasco with getting the vaccines out as quickly as needed, as they had wanted to or they had planned. That didn't happen. But I'm hoping, again, I'm hoping that this will become easier over time, become better, faster over time. There is an announcement of, oh God, I forget who was it the Johnson & Johnson one? That they're coming out with a one-dose shot that you can get, but that one doesn't seem to be as highly, the success percentage or the resistance percentage doesn't seem to be quite as high. But especially for people who have to travel a lot to get to the vaccination sites or anything, or for whatever reason can really only do the one, it'd be good for those first. So, I mean, there's things happening. So, God willing, hopefully by summer, things will start to hopefully open up, even if we have to wear masks a little bit more still. I mean, all the people that have lost their jobs and had to close businesses or just figure out all kinds of stuff. I get it. I know we need to open up, but again, we need to be safe. I've known in the last 2-3 months now, I've known at least a half a dozen people, if not more, who have caught the COVID virus, and it's affected everyone in so many different ways. I've known people who have died from it. I've known people who are in rehab, physical rehab, because of being on a ventilator, and they're still working on basically learning to walk again, and it's nuts. And then there's people who have kind of gotten it like a flu, and then, okay, it sucked for a little while, and they've recovered, thankfully. But that's just the thing. You never know. I mean, I know there's more if you have a pre-existing condition and everything, but you just never know what that's going to be. You never know what complications are going to happen. And just the thought of being on a ventilator kind of scares me a lot. So guess what? I'm going to be I'm definitely going to take this seriously. And at least until I get vaccinated, try not to get it, because God only knows my luck what'll happen. But like I said, I've known people who have died, people who have had serious, and these are younger younger people too. People who have had significant problems due to getting COVID. So yeah, there's still a lot happening. Is everything going to get magically better as of January 20th? No, it is not. But I just hope we can return to more sanity. That's at this point, that's about all we can ask for, isn't it? So that's that kind of stuff. What else happened in January? Well, now we get into. Well, before we do that, we'll talk about some gaming and tech things, because a lot of the other stuff I'm going to do revolves around tech and gaming and all that kind of stuff. Before we do that, again, I just really wanted to acknowledge I'm not a political channel, never will be. I really don't like getting into politics at all, but I felt it only fair to mention it a little bit in the beginning. But, if you are new to the channel here, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you if you subscribe, thank you very much for that. For the people who have been here forever, thank you for continuing to subscribe and be here. Much appreciated. I don't even know what we're up to. We can check real quick. Let's see what we're up to for subscribers. I haven't looked in forever. 25. Ooh, we're almost to 2,600. 2,582. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, why are you not going back anymore? Okay, that's really weird. It wouldn't actually go back. I was just going to go back to my main page again. But yeah, I mean, welcome to Illegally Cited. Okay. Yeah, I really wish I could turn that autoplay off. If anyone knows how to, especially just for your channel specifically, how to turn off autoplay. I swear I didn't used to do that, but the little welcome trailer that I have, it plays automatically, and I would like it not to do that. Not just for me, but for other people. Like if they want to hear it or see it, they can. But, this is Illegally Cited, and I unlock videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Mondays are reserved for stream archives, be them the few Mixer videos I have left to unlock. I actually had a question about that about a week ago. Somebody said, hey, how are you releasing a Mixer video? Mixer's been dead for a while. I said, well, these are recorded. I release them just one a week, and I've got a few more. I've got about a month or two left of streams, so there's a few. So yeah, there's a few more. There's a couple more that Riley's on, and then there's a couple more that I did after that. And then some Twitch streams. So Mondays are for stream archives. Wednesdays and Saturdays are just for everything else. Anything from assistive technology, mainstream technology, hardware reviews, game spotlights, low vision, accessible game spotlights, VR accessibility, VR experiences or games, any number of different things, a lot of different types of stuff on the channel, and everything is divided into playlists. So if you have a particular type of video that you like, go ahead and check that playlist out. So that is the channel. We're doing videos again Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, so the channel is not slowing down. I've been hooked on a couple of games lately. The main one I've been hooked on is Cobra Kai. As you well know if you follow me on the channel or Twitter lately, I have been just the Cobra Kai series that started out on YouTube and then went to Netflix. Yeah, some of the later seasons aren't quite as good. They don't, they have a few problems here and there, but overall I still really enjoy it. It's some of the best. It's just one of my favorite series in recent times. And they came out with a 2D brawler beat 'em up game on late last year, I believe it was, on Xbox, and then it came to everything else. So I picked up the PC version. And I was a little bit, I wasn't sure how good it would be in the beginning. It was like, oh, it's okay, but the more I got into it and learned kind of its specific mechanics, like the dojo moves and the character moves, I really got to enjoy it. Beat the Cobra Kai campaign, worked mostly through the Miyagi-Do campaign, and then if you beat both, you get to see a final ending and fight a a different boss at the end, an ultimate boss who is a giant pain in the ass, by the way. That's kind of where I left off, because I tried to beat him, and I have not been able to do so yet. So I just need to beat the final boss of that one, but fun game. It's even on the Switch, so people want to play it there, might be able to do that. As of just a couple days ago, as I'm recording this will probably go up on Saturday. I got another video I need to unlock for you guys tomorrow, but I'm recording this on a Tuesday. And just this past weekend, the Tobii accessibility mod for Doom, or Doom 2 more specifically, has been updated to version 3.5. And there's still things that maybe need to be done. And once that goes, we need more maps. But you know what? This mod is actually really starting to be really cool. That is my latest video here. Definitely check that out if you haven't already. This allows totally blind or very low vision users to play. There's only the one test map right now, but to play the original Doom game, through special created levels. Like the original levels can't be fully, they would have to be remade because there are certain cues or scripts like for doors and switches and things that don't automatically get the audio triggers that they're supposed to. There's something that has to be added to them for them to make them audibly work. But if we can get more levels and a couple other features in the mod, like in the earlier version that I covered for it last year, I still had to use God mode because there wasn't really still enough tells for some navigation and some of the combat cues. And that has been greatly upgraded. We got a new targeting system. We got more enemy sound effects and, bumping into walls sound effects. So it's good. And I beat the demo on one difficulty without God mode, and then I died, unfortunately, trying one difficulty higher, but I think I could do it. So, again, Doom being one of I'd say my favorite game of all time. People are still modding the heck out of it. Not just accessibility, but I just posted on Twitter the other day, around the same time, a link to a little video teaser. I can't even remember what it's called. It's like, I'm not even going to say it because I can't remember how it's said. But it's this part, like Doom meets Fear, and it's made in the Jeezy Doom source port, and it's this crazy sci-fi looking thing, and it just looks real. I can't believe that was made in the Doom and the Doom Jeezy Doom engine. That's crazy. Don't know when it's coming out, but rest assured we will be looking at that when it does, because it looks pretty cool, and I did not even know about it until I stumbled upon the trailer. And God bless the E1M1. That is the coolest thing that happened last year. The E1M1 digital and physical first-person shooter magazine. They're currently finishing up their second Kickstarter project campaign for episodes, issues 3 through 6, or 4 through 6, I should say. And just through their Discord, through their Twitter, I've learned about so many shooters, just classic style. These are the games I love to play. And I've just discovered some good ones that I might have stumbled upon eventually, but man, that has quickly become, there's a couple of YouTube people, about 2 to 4 different YouTube people that I follow where I've learned about a lot of them, but boy, this is going to be a key resource for me to find more of these retro shooters, because I love these things. I've got a video hopefully coming out fairly soon for an early access retro shooter that I've kind of been digging. That since Cobra Kai, I've been playing another one called HROT, or Harot. I'm not quite sure how to say it. There's a little bit of visual issues, just because everything is sort of monochrome-esque. There's not, you'll see when you see the video, but there's things that I can overlook just due to the color and the lighting and everything. But overall, it was a really fun game. I just finished. They have the first of 3 episodes out in its early access form, and I finished that yesterday. And yeah, I mean, so there's just a lot of new stuff coming all the time. Otherwise, channel stuff. Is there anything? Let's see. I mean, January, we had all the other crazy stuff going on in the real world. Like I said, I've got tons of videos recorded already. There's more I want to record. There hasn't been a super amount of new games January, and I don't think even February there isn't going to be all that many. Maybe an indie game or 2 here and there or something. But as we get to March, I'm not sure about March and April. I'm sure there's going to be some stuff there. But May, I can't even remember. There's at least 3 or 4 that I'm trying to remember. I know the Mass Effect, they just released some information on the Mass Effect Trilogy, the Legendary Edition. That is going to be coming out, and I will be very interested to check that out, because I've been hearing people who have gotten a chance to check out first impressions, and it sounds like they're actually going to be doing that series. It's giving it its respect, because after Andromeda, I just really didn't care for it, and BioWare has sort of stumbled a little bit recently, but I'm hoping this will be the thing that'll get them back on track, because I love me some Mass Effect. That was, right around the Elder Scrolls Oblivion and Fallout 3 and Mass Effect. That was where there was a time where I really just started getting into Western RPGs, computer RPGs, or even again, the Mass Effect things. It wasn't just, yes, you had inventory and things like that, but it wasn't just menu fantasy. It wasn't just clicking through menus, and, you could actually play it like an action game, which is what I prefer in general. So there's that. I know there's at least I think a couple other ones in May. I think they got pushed back, but I can't even remember. So I think that's where things are really going to be coming out, where I'm like, okay, we got to look at all these games. So, with the pandemic and everything, I think just some of the games that were slated to come out January, February just had to get pushed back. I think even Mass Effect was supposed to come out in March, and it is no longer doing so. So, anyway, lots to do on the channel. Streaming, I know, I've been saying this for the past couple videos. I haven't been doing it as regularly, and I'm not going to make any promises. I do enjoy it, but I do have a lot of other things going on. I love doing the YouTube channel, so that's not going to change. That's not going to go anywhere. And I will stream from time to time, and especially if there are more games. Like again, when I was hooked on Cobra Kai, I was like, yeah, let's stream some Cobra Kai. Let's play some, chat with people. I just, I've kind of been in a streak lately where I just, I really haven't been I haven't been playing as many games in general. I haven't been playing them, let alone wanting to stream them live. So, again, as things pick up or there's more things I kind of get hooked on, then maybe I'll be doing more of that. But the streaming thing is just kind of one of those things that's sort of on the side for me. And I know it sucks because if people want to tune in, it's like, well, how do you get people to watch if you never stream? I get that, but I try to keep it primarily to a weekend, so a Friday, Saturday night, something like that, if I'm gonna do it. But it's just not as high a priority right now. That could change, and I'll let you know when and if it does. But it's something that I will continue to do from time to time. Again, just follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/illegally cited, and you'll get notified when I do go live. And I do try to also post on Twitter at BGFH79 a little while before I go live so that people can join if they want to. So, yeah, I know Twitter, or not Twitter, I know Twitch has not become as much of a thing recently, but, it just kind of is what it is. It's not my primary focus right now, to be honest. Doing things with YouTube and work and other studies and projects and some podcast appearances here and there. Talked about those last update video. And though that's honestly, like I said, that's the type of thing that I am really interested in. I think a little bit more is just there was something to be said for when Riley was up here, and you had somebody to kind of just talk with. If there's a dead part in the stream or something, they can pick up the slack, or you can just talk and have a conversation back and forth. And I like that sort of interaction being on a podcast, whether it's Blind Bargains or Blind Abilities or Theory of a Blind Man. Those are a few that I've been on fairly recently that, I don't know, I really like that sort of just chatting, helping people, giving out information, but being able to kind of just bounce things back and forth between other people. So, like I said, you never know what'll happen. With that sort of a thing, what I might, like I said, I'm always trying new stuff, so you never know what'll happen. But that is sort of a channel and Twitch and stuff update. There's a couple things going on, one in particular that, God, I would love to be able to tell you guys right now, but I can't, unfortunately. I'm hoping we'll be able to in the next month or so. But I got a hell of a surprise. I would say mid-January, I got a hell of a surprise, and it was really, really cool. That's all I'm going to say. So hopefully I'll be able to chat about that at some point in the fairly near future, but really cool. Just a couple other tech and gaming things going on. Like I said, with all the politics and world events and all that nonsense of last month, the last couple weeks, if not week or so, have been kind of crazy too. In tech and gaming, we had CES earlier in January, and I really didn't get a whole vibe that there was really all that much happening. Of course, there was new TVs and new this, that, and the other thing. There's a couple of really cool sounding actual little robots that you can play with, that you can kind of program and use a phone app, which I have many reservations about that app being accessible. But there was some ones that are like, oh man, I can't remember what it was called. There was one in particular that I'm like, I kind of want to play with that. It was this like walking robot. It could walk and it could do like I. It was just neat. Like it could talk, but then it could walk and like do. I think it could do like backflips or something. It was just like really crazy. Like it could actually move around quite well. It's just really kind of neat. But I didn't get a whole lot out of CES. I listened to a couple of podcasts. There wasn't one thing that really specifically jumped out at me. ATIA also happened last week and this week due to it being virtual, kind of spreading things out over a couple of weeks. I really haven't heard all that much out of there either. There hasn't been any like major news. I mean, I guess the most, probably the most appropriate news for the channel here would be Humanware came out with a new version of their Brilliant Braille display, 40 cell Braille display, which actually sounds quite good. I still have not gotten my hands on a oh, I just went stupid. What is the one, the QWERTY one that came out late last year? The Mantis Q40. I'm really intrigued about that one, to be honest, because and so you have the Mantis, which is the QWERTY, and then you have the Brilliant version that is the Perkins style keyboard. And to me, really, I like the way this trend is going. Having, it started out with things like the Braille Edge, and then you went to the new Focus 45th gen. And now you've got these, you have the Orbit ones, you have the Mantis and the Brilliant, and they have their Braille displays, but they have basic note-taking capabilities in them. And they're still, at least, I mean, yeah, they're Braille displays, so of course they're just rather expensive, but like they're, spending between $2,000 and $3,000 is still a damn sight better than paying like $6,000 or $7,000 by the time you get done with the warranty for a Braille note or a Braille sense. I mean, I don't know. I've never really liked the full-blown note takers. It just, it's, even with Android, like you're running old versions of Android and you leave the confines of their little safety blind apps and you try to go use a Google app or you try to go out somewhere, and I've just never found it to be, I don't want to be trapped in the, like Keysoft or other blindy stuff. I like to just use a mainstream device and just have Braille in it, And, like you have for tablets and phones, and you've got book reading apps, I can read Bookshare books, I can read Bard or Audible or library books or whatnot. I've got a camera, so I can take a picture of text and have it read aloud, and I just, Braille is hugely important. I'm not going to deny that, but I think that's why I like this trend of these smart Braille displays, so you don't have to pair them with something, but, you need to write down a phone number, you need to take notes in class, you need to take notes in a meeting, or you need to read something for a presentation or a meeting. You can do that without being connected, but you don't have to worry about, you don't really need the web browser, you don't really need all the media stuff, like all that you can do with the, your tablet or your phone that you already have anyway, and it's not nearly expensive. And on top of that, the other thing with it is that, your Braille note dies, your Polaris dies, well, then what happens? Then you got to send it in, and if that's all you rely on, well, then you're stuck. If my Braille display dies, I still have a computer, I still have a phone or a tablet. I just don't have Braille, so I can still use, my screen reader. If my tablet dies, I still have a basic note-taking device that I can at least take notes on with a Braille display. It's not like an all-or-nothing sort of a thing. That's just kind of my note taker versus Braille display philosophy. And not everybody agrees with me, and that's okay, but that's kind of where I am. And I'm kind of curious to check out this new Brailliant display as well as the Mantis Q40, because I think these are going to be a couple of the, if you're looking for refreshable Braille, these are a couple devices I think that are going to be good. And the people that I do know who have had the Mantis already, or who so far, are really liking them. So, excellent. Good. Speaking of Braille displays, just a quick PSA. I don't know when Apple's going to have a fix for this, but in the recent iOS, 13.4 or 5, or I don't remember what the recent version is, but the one that came out last week, there are some issues. So if you are a Braille display user, specifically a Mantis Q40 and a couple other display users, you can still use the Braille display, but there's a new bug that got introduced that really sucks. You can use it apparently, but then, like when you let's say you lock your phone and then you want to wake it up with your Braille display and just connect again. That piece apparently is what doesn't work. So like, if you want to use your Braille display again, you have to turn your phone on and then just go under your screen, your voiceover settings, and just basically repair or reinitialize your Braille display. Like it just doesn't automatically reconnect is the issue. Which, yeah, is definitely annoying. But especially for deafblind users who need Braille, that sucks. So if you are a heavy Braille display user, I might hold off if you haven't already upgraded to that version of iOS because of that particular bug. I upgraded. I don't use Braille displays all that often. I have one over here that I borrowed from work to take a peek at, but like I said, especially if you're a heavy Braille user, definitely that is a thing to consider until Apple does release another fix, and hopefully that will be soon. But yeah, I mean, you had ATIA, you had the CES show. Nothing too major out of either one of those. I might be attending CSUN virtually this year. I'm not sure yet. Got to look at some stuff, but it is possible that I might be able to do that in, I think is it March or April? I think they moved it back this year. I can't even remember. Or it's probably March, I think. I don't remember. But might be looking at that. I figure, hey, you know what? They don't have to pay for travel for me to go this year, and I like the sessions and things like that. So you never know. I might be able to check that out. We'll see. So stuff going on there. Stuff going on. I'm still working with Microsoft, their Low Vision Advisory Board. Been meeting with them and doing some pretty fun stuff with that I can't really talk about at the moment. Just sheer kind of early access and NDAs and things like that. A couple other projects. Like I said, there's one I'd really love to talk about, but I can't yet. So I'm keeping very busy, which is good, because if I'm going to be in my apartment pretty much all the time, I go out when I can, but if I'm going to be here, I would rather have a good variety of things to do. Like, okay, I go to work, I do that for a while, then I can do some game accessibility stuff for a while, then I can do some technology accessibility stuff, Windows accessibility stuff for a while, then I can read, or I can, like I said, I have all kinds of things I can do, but just the fact that I'm not doing the same one or two things all day, every day, just helps mix things up. And like I said, you never know if you're doing that many things, then it just makes it makes the days go by better, and it's just not quite such a slog. I don't know. I couldn't just sit there and just do nothing, or just sit there and do, like one or two things. It would just, I would go crazy. Then I probably would go stir crazy. So that's why, especially with the pandemic, I've been trying to find, really cool ways to, better myself, learn things, do things, try new things. Still just helping out with all these areas of accessibility, because I really do enjoy it. It's a really fun thing to do. So hopefully I'll have more to talk about there. See, what else has happened? Bad news. The wonderful folks that brought us the Tony Hawk 1 and 2 last year. Again, I was really hoping that game would be good, and it was, after the other recent bad Tony Hawk games. Unfortunately, yeah, well, the developer's still around, but they're, as part of Activision, I guess they have been more folded into, guess what, you're going to help Blizzard now, and you're going to help them with some of their games, be they World of Warcraft or, what is that shooter that I haven't played yet? I just haven't bothered yet. Whatever, but I can't remember what it's called. Called, but yeah, so it looks like they're going to be a support studio from now on, or for the foreseeable future, which kind of, I'm thinking, probably has a good chance of like a Tony Hawk 3 DLC or add-on or something. It looks like that's probably not gonna happen, even with the success of Tony Hawk 1 and 2. With as well as it did, and its people, its reception was really good. So I was hoping there was a chance for later this year, but now it's not looking good. So I was really disappointed in that, because even if they didn't go, like, they didn't necessarily have to go through 4 or later, but like if they could just do Tony Hawk 3, and I don't know if they could have like another Activision developer, add to it. I don't know that they will, that they care enough. But yeah, I don't know. I would love to see it, because like I said, I have some good memories of Tony Hawk 3 in college. And if they could have those levels and stuff in there, that would be excellent. But it's not looking good. Speaking of not looking good, in the last couple of days, we also found out that Stadia is not... I don't know what the future of Stadia is going to be, because, when they announced it about a year and a half ago, they're like, oh, we've got all these first-party developers, and they're going to be working on a bunch of games, and we're going to have our first-party studios in addition to all of our third-party stuff. We're going to make our own games and have third-party support and yada yada. Well, as of a day or two ago, I've heard the news that all internal development on games has ceased. So the people are trying to be folded into other parts of Google or doing something else or whatever. But then it also sounds like some of the contracted work isn't really, like, some of that stuff has kind of been canceled too. They said that, we're still going to work with third parties, but it sounds like they want to transform Stadia into some sort of, like, I don't know, service or something, to where other developers or other, like, platforms could use that technology. Let's say, I don't know, well, probably not Microsoft because they have their own thing, but like, people could host games, or they could host demos or something. Like, they're trying to look at it more from a business perspective, I think, more than like a game service platform to the end user perspective. And that is why, my friends, is like, I've tried Stadia. I've played the demo of, I've played I've played like full versions of games. I showed you a few games on a video of Stadia, and it worked quite well. Before it came out, I played the demo of Immortals Phoenix Rising. Streamed it through Stadia, and it worked pretty well. I mean, the technology is decent. It works there. It works. But with the way that Google supports or does not support a lot of its products, it's kind of got ADD and just says, "Oh, shiny object," and it starts and goes into something and then just drops it shortly thereafter. So I don't know. It was, I will see how much they stick to their third-party support, or how many third parties actually, with their announcement, are third parties gonna want to stick with them? Because are they gonna have the rug pulled out from under them 6 months from now or whatnot? So, I mean, as cool as the technology is, it's kind of one of those, I told you so. I did not really have faith that Google would stick to it, at least in its current form. So yeah, Stadia, I don't really know what's going to happen with that. So that happened. And then on top of that, within the last week and a half, I'm not even going to try to explain this. Just go check out like the Vergecast or a few other podcasts or websites have covered it. I'm sure videos have covered it. But this whole GameStop fiasco, where you've got these, apparently there's a group that started like short selling these stocks because the stock was undervalued and they wanted to raise the value of it, but then I don't know, things are just going back and forth, and then you got like it's just this whole crazy where what it ended up doing is they raised the value, but then it kept raising because it almost became a meme to the point where you had people that were like this gaming culture that would come into it, of people who either didn't like GameStop or found it ironic or wanted to just try investing, and it kept ballooning the stock price so high that the initial like Wall Street investors, these millionaires, billionaires, are getting all cranky because it's like, you get these internet people coming in and these new investors through all these investing apps and services, and they're doing they found a interesting way to manipulate the stock market. And then you get these original Wall Street guys that are like, well, you can't do that. No, you can't do this. That's not fair. And like, what, like, you guys haven't been manipulating and messing with that's basically what the stock market is. It's just a bunch of rich people just trying to, keep the wealth amongst themselves. And so somebody found a way to stick it to them, and then they get all hurt about it. I think it's kind of funny, actually. I mean, I don't know what it's going to do long term, but it kind of does amuse me, because it's like, oh, so, the regular Joe figured out figured out a tactic on how to manipulate things just the way that you guys do. And then just because you didn't think of it first, now you're all mad about it because you're losing money. I don't know. It's just a whole wild situation. Like I said, I don't fully understand all this like short stocks, and I've got a little bit better understanding of it. And I think I sort of understand the gist of the whole kind of what happened, but I don't dare try to explain it on a video because I know I'm going to screw it up. So, but if you're wondering, like, why is everybody talking about GameStop? Well, there's just been some really nuts stock trading things going on, and it's not just been them. I guess AMC and a few other companies have kind of been, they've maybe to a lesser degree, but they've kind of gotten a similar thing happen to them. So I don't know. Is this going to be like a new trend, or a new, like, oh, hey, we actually have new players, and it's not just the old guard trying to play the stock market? Or, like I said, you have, because, you would have to work with an investor in the past, and then they would take their fee, but now you have these direct these direct stock things were like Robinhood or other ones where like you can just invest yourself, and this kind of democratized things a little bit. And with just the way that this has sort of caught on in general, like yes, it's GameStop, but it really doesn't have much to do with gaming at all. It just so happened to be that GameStop was a company that they picked on because it was a really low stock that they could try to manipulate. But I just find the whole thing kind of wild, kind of fascinating. So it has been, especially in the last couple of weeks, it's been kind of a weird time. That's about where we are. Like I said, I try to do these update videos once every month or two. Skipped January. I was going to try to do it after the inauguration day. But again, I wasn't happy with it, so I just said, no, we'll just sit on it. Wait for some more stuff to happen, because I didn't want to just talk about January 6th and January 20th. I didn't just want to talk about that. This primarily being a tech channel, gaming channel, accessibility, that kind of a thing. But I felt I still had to at least try to say something halfway coherent about it. So anyway, that is, I think, where we will wrap it up here. Don't know if I'm going to, especially with February being a short month as it is, I don't know that I'm really going to do another one of these. Maybe we'll do it early to mid-March, something like that. But I figure, enough stuff has happened. There's just been a couple of things recently with, especially all this Stadia and the new Braille display and the GameStop stuff and then all the stuff in January. I figure, let's just get all this recorded and just, wanted to chat a little bit about that kind of stuff, because it's been, like I said, I especially the first half of January, I was getting a little worried that January was just going to become a really long December 2020, but I'm hoping we're peeking out of the woods here. I'm hoping we're sort of trying to get things kind of back to some semblance of sanity. I'm hoping. So we will wrap it up here. Definitely expect more on the channel. We got a bunch of games here. There's a few more that I want to cover that I got on the desktop here. I switched from the Windows wallpaper, got my cool Cobra Kai wallpaper from the end credits. Had to love that. But like I said, we got a whole bunch of games here, a few that I've installed. Hopefully I'll get a couple hardware reviews or Geek Loot Spotlight sort of things happening in the near future. So lots of stuff coming out. Games and tech and everything, you never know. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like the video if you did. Subscribe if you have not done so already. Thank you to everybody who has. You can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/illegally-cited. Twitter, I'm pretty active there. Twitter is at BGFH79, illegally-cited.com, which I desperately need to update. And right here on YouTube. So until next time, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys are staying healthy, stay safe, wear a mask, and chat with you guys again later.